So the Concord beta has released for PlayStation and Steam recently, and many of us in the gaming community, those of us who actually like games, predicted it would be a complete failure. We saw it first revealed at the PlayStation State of Play, and what did we see? But a whole bunch of horrifically ugly, woke character designs complete with pronouns. So of course, we figured, you know what? This is probably gonna flop, and we were right. We weren't just right, we were incredibly right. This thing has massively flopped, harder than I could have imagined. Let's look at the numbers for a few recent games and compare those to Concord. The peak player count for Helldivers 2 is 458,208 players on Steam. The peak player count for The First Descendant is 264,860 players on Steam. So what's the peak player count for Concord thus far? 1,124. LOL. Laugh out loud. This is abysmally low for the game, not counting any other factors, but it is even lower considering how hard Sony pushed this at its state of play and how the anti-gamer propagandist media is running all sorts of puff pieces trying to tell you that this game is amazing. You know it's not. It's designed for the modern gaming audience.
For a modern gaming audience.
Well, where is that modern gaming audience now? Because, I don't see them. I'm looking around and all I see is an abysmally low number on my TV. Well, I just said that to rhyme. It was actually on my computer monitor. As we speak, the anti-gamers are publishing even more puff pieces trying to tell you how amazing this game is and how you should give it a shot. Well,
you shouldn't.
Again, who are you gonna believe? The anti-gamer propagandists or your lying eyes? Me? I'm gonna believe my eyes. I'm Fox, and this is RealMarcFoxx, your home for rational, reasonable, real gamers. Let's roll that intro.
Hey, wanna hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
Concord was blasted when it first unveiled at the PlayStation State of Play, with many people, including myself, declaring it DOA, dead on arrival. Well, sure enough, it appears to be. While it still could make a comeback, I see that as highly unlikely. Concord is another clear example of utter woke trash. Among its roster of players is a selection of outright ugly, disproportionate, odd-looking pronoun people. Who is this for? Again, we all know that gamers don't want woke. Where is this so-called modern gaming audience they keep making games for?
For a modern gaming audience.
How come they never show up? They never appear, they never play, they never buy. It's like they don't exist. So again, we're shown proof that the modern gaming audience is a myth. I'm sure many of the people playing the game are streaming it out of some obligation or contract, and many others are just giving it a chance despite the horrific design. There are even anti-woke gamers out there playing it just to blast it for how woke it is. But that's not a good idea, because if you download and play this game, if you pay anything for it at all, you're supporting it and pushing those numbers up. If you download it to play it just to show your gaming audience how bad it is, you have boosted the presence of this game and make it look more popular than it really is. Don't do that. Just ignore it. Pretend it doesn't exist. Mock it, say how terrible it is, and move on. Don't download, don't play, don't pay. And speaking of that, don't hate play any games. Let these games be the colossal failures that they are. Don't hate click articles, don't hate watch videos, and don't hate play games. Let them fail. The solution is still the same, always has been. Mock the stupidity and ugliness of DEI and let it flop of its own accord, because it always does. Don't even bother with free demos, because again, you're boosting the presence of the game and making it look like it's more popular than it really is. You don't have to play it to see how bad it is. You can watch someone else play it and then post that footage in your own video. You can credit them if you want and just say, look, this is terrible. It's awful. See how bad it is? We all know how bad it is. We have eyes to see how horrifically awful this stuff looks. Oh, what's that? Are you asking if I'm vaping? Well, sort of, but not really. This is Breathe. It's actually a B12 vapor. Doesn't contain any nicotine nor propylene glycol. This is not a sponsored spot. I just happen to have this, and it's one of the ways I get B12 in my system. I have no connection to this company whatsoever. I'm not even recommending them. I'm just doing it because, you know what? Vaping went from super gay to Okay, well, it's still gay. That was nothing. I think this one's dying. Well, no, there's plenty in there. Should be charged. This is how we send the strongest message, by letting the games completely and utterly fail and flop, and then mocking them for the flop that they are. Laugh at them, mock them, make fun of the games, but keep in mind, there are some devs who worked hard on this game, Concord, and other games that get caught up in the woke nonsense, who themselves are not woke. Some of the developers working on this game are even anti-woke, but probably have to stay silent. So let's take a moment to think about those anti-woke developers who work hard on games only to see their games fail because of disgusting, evil influence of DEI. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry this happens to your games. You deserve better. So, let these anti-gamer propagandists fail completely, turn tail, and walk out of the gaming industry with their tail between their legs. We do not want them here. They are not gamers. They're not here for the games. They're only here to push their anti-gamer, woke, disgusting DEI agenda. We don't want them here. Let's get them out. So I raise the
woven goblet of enemy tears
to the failure of Concord and every subsequent DEI-infected game. May they all fail miserably. The tears of our enemies are salty indeed. Thank you so much for joining me today, and why not actually join the channel? It's as little as $1.99, and Super Real Gamer Drunken Dwarf has done it, as well as Real Gamer Cornelius Noland. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, click the notification bell icon so you always hear about me, and consider picking up my novel New Tokyo, available on Amazon, link in the description. And you know what game didn't flop? Magician on the NES. Actually, by all accounts, it actually did flop. It shouldn't have. It's one of the best games ever made. This is an example of a game that flops because people just don't understand incredible game design. It was ahead of its time. Grab Magician on the NES and give it a go. You won't regret it. Thanks again, everybody. It's been a pleasure to have you here. And as always, my friends, for Fox's sake, stay real, keep playing, and never forget, always say no to woke.
Thing sucks!
Because if you really understood the situation and still kept on failing to act, then you would be evil.